Hi, my name is Dale Braswell, lead pastor of Life Point Church. I want to thank you for watching our weekly video message series. Over the past several weeks, we've been looking at a description of what does the church look like, and we've been going to Acts chapter 2 for our answers in that, and we've seen that the early church was devoted, they were unified, and they had just a sense of awe of who God was and how He was working in their midst. And this week, what we want to do is conclude this little series on Acts chapter 2 by seeing some of the results of all that, the results of their devotion, the results of their unity, the results of the awe that they had for God. And we see at the very end in verse 47 that the early church was continually praising God. In other words, they were just happy. They were full of joy. They were so thankful to see what God was doing in them and through them. They were a joy to be around. And as a result, Luke writes that they had favor with all the people in the community. In other words, people were looking at them and realizing that there's something different about these folks. There's something that is contagious and exciting about what is going on internally within their lives. And so, as a result, people wanted to know more about that. But even as, I believe, even as persecution spread and as the church fell out of favor maybe with the government or the society as a whole, I still think that God gave them favor with individuals that He was working and moving in and had a desire to know more about the gospel. But then we also see at the very end of the passage that God was adding to their number daily those who were being saved. And so every week, person after person was having their life changed. Every day, individual after individual was professing Jesus as their own Savior and Lord. And so as a result, we see that the church was growing at just a ridiculous rate. Well, again, I think that's a great model. That's a great goal for us here at Life Point. It's a desire that we have to see God help us to be a people that are continually praising Him, help us to be a people that have favor with others in the community, and to be a church where God is adding to our numbers daily. But I think it's important for us to define what does all of that look like, because all of us like growth, all of us want things to grow, but what does that mean? And I think it means that we want to be a church that's growing because we're seeing new people come to faith in Jesus, not because we're trying to steal people from other churches. And also that we're a church that's growing in depth in our understanding of who God is and in our unity and love for one another. So how do we achieve all of that growth? Well, I think the answer is found in the previous verses, in which we're a people that are devoted to seeking God through His Word, through fellowshipping with other believers, through worshiping together in a community, that we're a people that are seeking God and devoted to prayer and asking God to help us to be in awe of who He is and asking God to help us to be unified. Because I think if our church contains all of those elements, the natural growth, the natural praise, the natural favor is going to come as a result. So again, I think we see so many of those elements already at Life Point. And it's my prayer that each of those will grow and grow as God continues to bless and grow this church as a whole. So again, thanks for watching. We'll begin kind of a new mini-series next week as we continue our weekly message and video series. Thanks a lot.